the very top of the discussion that we're talking about, people are alluding that Victor Conte's association with Vada and being Devin Haney's representative is questionable. And while you may question his background and what he's been involved in, you 100% have that right to do so. But what you can't question, and what is fact, is that he doesn't own Vada. So, but let's just say for all these people that he's
Mm-hmm.
the CEO of Vada, okay? CEO of
Mm-hmm.
Vada. Give him the highest position just for this discussion. What does Vada have to do with the test? The second
Mm-hmm.
fallacy is that Vada lab is the one that produced this test. That
Mm-hmm.
is a fallacy. The reason I say that, you can look on Vada's website. Vada uses WADA accredited labs, the
Mm-hmm.
worldwide doping agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anti-doping agency. So that being said, Vada didn't touch the sample, okay? And so if you're like, oh, well, they tested it. Nope, they didn't test it. There's no Vada lab. WADA is the same lab that tests the USADA uh, testing,
Mm-hmm. That's
which is
Olympic, ain't it?
correct, which is the highest at this point in time, is the highest known and respected, is the Olympic drug testing, right? Because of how comprehensive they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So that being said, Vada themselves do not have a lab, and they send it out to the highest accredited lab of WADA. WADA only has two, so there's no way that on the day that they took the sample at 3 p.m. over in New York, it's going to magically appear with enough processing time before the end of the day on a Friday to Salt Lake City or Los Angeles, California. We don't have a teleport machine to do that. Okay. So even logistically, that's not going to freaking happen. What was my next point? Oh, so people are like, oh, well, what the hell is Vada? What's Vada?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Vada is like USADA. They
Mm-hmm.
are a collection agency. So, of course, people are like, well, they could have contaminated it. They could have switched out samples, yada, yada, yada. If you
Mm-hmm.
watch the video that I posted yesterday of Nonito going through the entire process
Mm-hmm.
to to try to contaminate that sample, is like you had to be Superman to figure out how the freak to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's they don't even, you pick from a random batch of lids and collection cups that are sealed. A random batch. They give you a bunch to pick from. You choose which one you want. From that, they give you a random batch of shipping container thingies that you have to package to pick from. And from that random batch, the one that you pick has a sealed box that has the same barcode and sticker, of the same barcode and sticker on this plastic tamper resistant bag, and the same barcode on both of the samples bottles, and the same barcode that is on the sticker that you're given for your record keeping. So to contaminate that sample or tamper with that sample before it gets to water, you would have to break the damn all those seals, the box, the bag, and the glass bottle,
Mm-hmm.
re-put it in something else. It has to have the exact same number on all of them, and hope that the fighter doesn't notice that that number isn't the number that you have in your possession, like they don't match.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the last one is, of course, well, what if the Vada representative, when they were, putting the samples in the bottles, contaminated it? The
Mm-hmm.
Vada representative is not allowed to touch your sample or the containers that is put in. You yourself have to put it in.
Mm. Oh, wow. I got a question. Now, there's I was talking to one of the guys that's a pharmacist, and he says that, if you want to really get yourself cleared to prove that something was wrong, you give a hair sample, and the hair sample will go back for 6 months. Do you agree with that? Is that the best way to clear yourself?
I don't have like knowledge on that type of drug testing because that's not something that I have gone under in my entire life. Being that I've been drug tested to go to the Olympics myself, I've been drug tested in the military, and then watching, No Nito. So it's not something that has been widely accepted, and why it's not implemented in